Welcome to Mandolin. Today, something a little different as we'll be taking a look at a mandolin introduction for guitar players from a guitar standpoint, which is how a lot of us certainly wound up here. Certainly I did. And you know, we start off, I played guitar my whole life, and sooner or later you're looking for something different, or you're just going to add something to the musical toolbox or something, and you've wound up being interested in a mandolin. And good news, you're 75% of the way there before you've ever touched the thing. It's easier than guitar, and you know, it's so symmetrical, and if you play guitar, I mean, this is going to be a breeze for you. This is not a straight beginner video. I'm assuming some musical knowledge here, like I say, and you know, guitar experiences. We're going to talk about major, minor, pentatonic, things of this nature. If you're looking for a straight beginner mandolin video, of course I've got others that will fit your needs. And before we get going, of course I have to do the commercial here. Make sure subscribe down below. Mandolin, do a lot of these lessons and tutorials and reviews and things of that nature. Be sure to check out the Mandolin store for t-shirts and the not a ukulele stickers, which you'll get good mileage of on your case, and general merch and things of that nature. And of course, hey, if you're leaving a comment here, let me know where you're watching in the world, so I can put a pin on my map for you. And of course, I'll leave the PayPals and the Venmo and all that kind of stuff down there. If you're watching the channel, checking out the channel, getting something from the channel, could kick it a buck or two, would sure be appreciated. My sincerest thanks to people who've actually done that. But hey, let's get started, huh? It's time to learn some mandolin. Now, the first thing I'll say is I've seen a lot of videos online when they talk about, you know, coming over to the mandolin world from guitar, is they say things like, just think of it as the top four strings of a guitar backwards or upside down. You know, which technically they are, but don't think of it as a backwards, upside down top four strings of the guitar. Think of it as a right side up mandolin and learn what the notes are. There's only four strings, and two of them are on the guitar, so you're gonna know them already. So just learn it like it is and think of it as a mandolin right from the get-go, and it'll be a lot easier for you. All right, let's get going here. All right, so let's get started by talking about the tunings here, what we're tuned to. We got G on the bottom end, low G. We got D here, A, and then E. That's right, E, the same high E string that you've played your whole life, is right here. Nothing new to learn, so you already know where everything is. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. You already know this, and we can put that to use right away. But again, knowing what the open tunings are, it's easy to figure out. You know, this is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, you can just work your way right up from D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And down here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Right where you think it is, but here, high E. So you've already got this in your mind, and let's put that to use right away. All right, so keeping in mind this high E string for a little bit, let's put that familiarity to a good use here. Let's play our first here, our G chord, open G. Probably finger it like this. Just the bottom two open, second fret on the A, third fret on the G, or third fret to G note, but it's on the high E string. So that's our G major chord, right? So just like in guitar, we can move this all over the fretboard, just in a bar chord type of shape. So we just take our shape, and we can start moving that around. You know, anywhere that's got two notes right next to each other, then one here, and then one here in this kind of the slanty shape. But here's G, so we just scooch that up a step, you know, to A. Scoot it up another step. Here's B, half step, you know, to C. You got every major chord is right here. Here's D. You know, work it all the way up to here's G and all the way up at the octave. So just by knowing this shape and knowing the notes on the high E string, just put your root note, you know, whatever note you're on. If you put that top one there, that's a C. Put it on here, B flat, A flat, G. You know, you've got the theory, you know the game. Now here's all we have to do, right? Now that's every major chord. All we have to do to make this puppy a minor chord is to take this note and drop it one. So instead of here on the 2nd fret, it's here on the 1st fret, so G minor. And we can walk that all around, you know, A minor, B minor, C minor, D, E, F, you know, G, our whole octave of minor chords right there. So already, right, there's every major and minor chord, at least in one position, right? And there's one other thing we can do to it. Let's make it be a 7th chord. Now, of course, there's several ways to go about all this, but an easy way, here, say we're on our C. If we want to make it be a 7th chord, we can just drop the highest note down to here. You know, here it is open, it's G. There's G7. So anywhere we do it, you know, here's B flat, here's B flat 7. Here's a D way up here, D7. And again, just by knowing, you know, in your mind the notes in the E string, just place this shape, or this shape, or this shape, wherever you want it, and you're already going to know where you are. Now the great thing is that shape that we're just doing here doesn't just have to be here up on the E string. That's the first place we're talking about for familiarity. But it can be down here. It's a C chord. All we did is move everything from the top 2 just up a string. But once we make it a C chord, guess what? Just like before, we start moving that around, just like your bar chords on guitar. So if it's C right here, and I'm just playing 2nd and 3rd on the middle 2 strings, if that's not clear enough. But we take that shape, start moving it around the fretboard, just like the other one. Move everything up a fret, or a step, I'm sorry. A full step, here's D, E, just like before, F, G. Its root note, just like before, would be that top note. So in this situation, it'd be named after the note on the A string here, which again is easy enough to figure out. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So yeah, you're moving that around, and just like before, to make it minor, exactly the same thing. We'll just drop this down here. That could be C minor. And up here, C7. So any of those chord shapes, we do it up here, major, drop it to here, minor, or 7th. And so our relationship here, this is good to know. You always, if this is your 1, if you play your 1 here, your 4 is always right there. And your 5 is always just, you know, a step up from the 4. So, you know, everything from your Louis, but any key, right? It's your 1, 4, 5. Always just sits like that. Which means that wherever you are, say I'm doing it here, which would be B flat, because, you know, I'm on the E string right up here. But if you're on the major, you can go to your 7th, and your 4 chord is always right there. It's always just up. And then, of course, your 5, you scoot up to the 5. So anywhere you want it. There's your 1, 4, and 5 in D. But again, just another set of chords, based off the C chord shape here. First one was based off the G. This one's based off the C. And if you know your theory, you can just walk it all around the fretboard and put it wherever you need it. And we're going to look at one more movable chord shape here. This is an open D chord, which is second on the top, middle 2 open, second on the bottom. That's a D. This could be fingered this way. And we're just you can move it around just like the other two shapes. You can just scooch it up. Becomes an E chord on the 2nd fret. Becomes F on the 3rd. G here. So that's 3 shapes of chords you can move around. You can take this one, which is based on the G, open G, and its root note is here on the high E string. Move that around. You can take your C chord, the root note is here on the A string. Move that around. Or you can take this D chord. Root note is actually here on the open D in this case. And move that around too. So right there is just a world of shapes to do all your, your Sweet Home Alabamas. Anything. I mean, the chords to all your favorite songs. And so once you can find them on the mando and you start playing along with yours, it's going to sound cool right away. And you're going to love this. All right, let's talk scales for a moment here. All right, let's look at a basic major scale. I'll do one in G here, just starting on the open lowest note here, but just 0, 2, 4, 5 on the G string. Come up to the D and do the exact same thing. 0, 2, 4, 5. There's a G major scale. Now, the mandolin's perfectly symmetrical, so right here it just starts all over again. Guess what? Right here starts all over again. So there's 3 octaves of G scale right there, just learning this one pattern. 0, 2, 4, 5. 0, 2, 4, 5. Couldn't be simpler. Starts there on the G, but if we start it here on the D note, there's a octave of the D major scale. And again, starts over. So just by learning 1 octave of anything, you'll get 2, maybe 3 octaves of useful notes there. And again, just, if you know your theory, just wherever note you start on, here's a D. That pattern anywhere on the neck works. And, like I say, and you can just string together a couple of octaves. So just learning a couple of strings worth of notes, you can jump around the fretboard like that. So that's a major scale pattern. All right, let's talk minor scale for a little bit. Major was this, 0, 2, 4, 5. And again, we're just going to do an octave, 1 octave of the minor scale, and that would be O, 2, 3, 5. And then on the 2nd string, 0, 1, 3, 5. So 0, 2, 3, 5, 0, 1, 3, 5. And again, you got another octave right here. And, right here, another octave. Because like I say, it's completely symmetrical. So what works, it just repeats all over the neck. So we started on G, but if we started on A, here would be A minor. 2, 3, 5, 0, 1, 3, 5. Pattern works everywhere on the neck. Here's a G right here, so G minor. I didn't do that very well. But so there, minor scale. Put that anywhere in the neck. Sounds great. All right, one more scale pattern to cover here, and that's going to be the pentatonic scale, the mandolin equivalent of your blues box on the guitar that we're also familiar with. Here it is in mandolin form. You just take your major scale, which was again 0-2-4-5, 0-2-4-5, and we're just going to drop a couple notes. So it's just going to say, it's going to go 0-2-4, and then 0-2-5 on the string below it. Whoops. And again, that pattern anywhere. There it is on A, so that's an A major pentatonic. Here it is on G. And again, anytime we get to the top of it, it just starts over. Here's another one on G. Here's another one on G. So just by learning 5 notes, we've got 3 octaves of useful G scale. And again, you know, just whatever note you start on, you know, here's an F, so F pentatonic. And, you know, your 4-chord pentatonic, here's B flat. It's just like before, it's going to be right there. Your 5-chord, it's just going to be up 2 frets, just like before. Everything has that same, everything is so symmetrical, so easy to grasp. I just love it. I don't have that pesky B string and G string throwing everything off like on the guitar. And one other thing I was going to mention here about this pentatonic scale. Let's look again here on the D. Here's our D pentatonic, right? If we just add one note here, 0-2-3-4, 0-2-5. Now we have a major blues pentatonic scale. So nice and bluesy, just like that, with one additional note. And again, you know, it repeats, everything's symmetrical. Here it is. Here's the top of it. So it can be right there. And then once you get that, it's just, you know, endless licks once you're into that scale. And so there's a major scale, a minor scale, pentatonic scale, and a major blues pentatonic scale. So plenty to get you going with. If you start combining this with some backing tracks and working with these chords here, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to like this mandolin business. All right, that should get you going for a while. Major chords, minor chords, a few different shapes, major, minor, pentatonic scales. You already know a bunch of songs. You already know a bunch of chord progressions. So just plug these things in, man, and have a ball. You're going to love this little guy. And you're going to spend a lot of time tuning. That'll be part of the fun, too. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.